Hey seniors, today we're going to start working with translations. So you guys were given a notes packet today. Make sure that all of this is filled in. This is going to be part of your participation grade this week, and also it's super important to take good notes so you have something to refer back to, maybe during guided or independent practice. So let's talk about what translations are. A translation is when a figure is moved up and down, left or right, or any combination, but keeps the same position and stays exactly the same size. Go ahead on your notes page where it gives you an area to write down the definition for translation. Go ahead and make sure this is written down. Here's another vocab word that we need to start getting comfortable with. We're not going to work with it too much today, but whenever I say origin, all that means is the point 0, 0 on a graph. So if this was my graph, the origin is 0, 0. It's just right there in the middle. All right, and down here we have an example of a translated figure. Do you guys see how this triangle maintains the exact same position from here as it does up here? All it's done is it's been moved a certain amount. It's been moved up and to the right. And that's all that we're doing is moving shapes on a graph. So let's go ahead and look at an example that's already been translated. All right, guys. This example should be on your notes page. All we're going to do is we're going to figure out how this triangle has been translated. And one key thing that I want us to look at when I see a graph that's already been translated is how do I know which one's the original triangle? Well, if I look at this triangle, my sides are A, B, and C. If I look at this triangle, my sides are A prime, B prime, and C prime. The letters that do not have symbols tell me that this is my original triangle and that A prime, B prime, and C prime are coordinates for a figure that has been translated. So before we talk about the translation, let's go ahead and, let's get a smaller pencil here, write our coordinates for A, B, and C of our original triangle. My coordinates for A is 1, 2, 3, 4. My x-coordinate is -4, and then my y-coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -4 and 5. And then my coordinate for B is -1, 2, 3, 4, 6, -6, and my y-coordinate is 1, 2, 3, and 3. And then my coordinate for C is -1, -2. My x-coordinate is -2. And my y-coordinate is 2. Now, I want to figure out what my coordinates of A prime, B prime, and C prime are to figure out my translation. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my point A, and I'm going to count over and down until I get to A prime. So I'm moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I know I'm being translated 7 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. And my coordinate for A prime there is 3, 0. So obviously my y-coordinate doesn't exist there. It does exist, it's just at 0. Now, let's do the translation for B and see if that holds as well. So again, all I'm going to do is I'm going to start with B and work until I get to B prime. So I'm trying to figure out the translation from here to here. So I'm moving, let's start moving to the right. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the right. Okay, that's the same. And then it should be 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my coordinate for B prime is -1, and my y-coordinate is -2. Now, I'm not going to bother counting from C to C prime. I already know that my figure has been translated 7 units to the right and 5 units down. I'm just going to write my new coordinates for it. So C prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, and -3. Now, what I want you guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you guys what an exemplar response to describing the translation looks like. So give me 1 second. Make sure that all these coordinates are filled in on your guided notes packet. All right, guys, so this is an exemplar response for describing the translation. The triangle has been translated 7 units to the right and 5 units down on the graph. It's in a complete sentence. It tells exactly what happened to this triangle. So make sure that this is filled in on your guided notes. And remember this for guided and independent practice. When you start working on your own, this is a good answer. All right, let's do another example. All right, guys, now we're going to start working with translating our own figure and using coordinate notation. My coordinate notation will tell me exactly how many units I'm going to translate my figure. The first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at my x value, and it says x -3. What that means is I'm going to translate this triangle 3 units to the left, and then according to my y unit, 1 unit down. And I know that I'm going to the left and down because of the negative signs. The negative signs tell me that I'm going to move to the negative side of my graph. And then my x-axis, my left side is the negative side, and my right side is the positive side. And then if I look at my y-axis, the top part is the positive side, and the bottom part is the negative side. And one thing that I want us to get super comfortable with, is drawing arrows underneath our parentheses. So if I know, because of the negative sign, that I'm going to be moving left, I'm going to draw an arrow pointing to the left. And then, because of my negative sign for my y, if I know I'm moving down, I'm going to draw an arrow underneath that. That needs to be done on every single one of your coordinates that you're given, so I know that you know which way you're moving your figure. Now, let's work with our triangle. I want to move it 3 units to the left and 1 unit down. So here are my coordinates for J prime, H prime, and K prime. And I'm going to fill those in as I go. So let's start with J. Again, all I'm doing is I'm moving it 3 units to the left, 1 unit down. So let's go over first. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 unit down. My new coordinate for J prime is going to be 3, 1. Now, let's do H prime. Again, 3 units to the left, 1 unit down. 1, 2, 3, 1 unit down. New coordinate for H prime is going to be -1 and 1. And then K prime. 3 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 1 unit down. My new coordinate for K prime is going to be 3, 2. And if I draw lines, this is the exact same size triangle as the one before. It's just been translated 3 units to the left, 1 unit down. All right, guys, the best way to get better at this is just to practice it. So let's go ahead and move into guided practice, which is also in your notes page.